This is VK6ARN, Newswest. We are a community organisation and we've been serving up the best amateur radio news in Australia since 1931.
Hi there, this is Clinton, VK6FCRC, and welcome to Newswest for the 21st of July 2024. Now with the show.
Coming up soon in September is Perth Tech. Perth Tech is on Saturday the 21st of December, and details as they develop are posted on the vk6.net website. Right now we're open to offers from people wishing to make a presentation at Perth Tech, so if you have something to offer or an idea you'd like to kick around, give us a shout. Send an email to perthtech@vk6.net and we can start talking. The salient points for Perth Tech are the date, 21st of September, that's a Saturday. Starts early at 08:30 with a day of presentations and perhaps demonstrations, followed by a sundowner for those who wish to stay a bit later. As in other years, Perth Tech also offers camping spots for caravans or campers on Friday and Saturday nights. So keep the date open, Saturday the 21st of September, and it's at Gidgegannup again. It's a great venue. It's a great event. Mark your diaries and stick up your hand to do something at Perth Tech. It's easy. perthtech@vk6.net.
If you happen to listen to the right part of the 80-metre band on a Tuesday evening, you might hear something that sounds like this. The CQ-QRS net has been running every single Tuesday for the last 2 years and has been unbelievably popular. There are usually half a dozen, and a couple of times up to 18 stations, popping in and out when they can over the 4 or 5 hours. The aim is to encourage new CW operators to have a go at slow CW in a safe and really friendly environment, where slow speed and lots of mistakes are par for the course. It's all about having a go, starting with a basic call sign and RST exchange, then over time getting better and better. The net also attracts its fair share of old-timers who enjoy helping others to have a go or just to enjoy the banter. So this might be just the opportunity you've been waiting for to have a go at transmitting on CW, or perhaps just to stop the contacts rusting up on your key. Doesn't matter whether you're brand new to the code or if you're an old-timer who would like to have a bit of fun and help encourage new operators by having simple, safe QSOs at their speed, we'd love to have you join in. The net starts at 0900 Zulu every Tuesday on 80 metres between 3540 and 3570 kHz, and there's stations in the west, east and in between listening out for your CQ-QRS call. For more information and to receive our weekly CQ-QRS RagTune newsletter, contact me, Mark, VK6QI, via my email address on qrz.com, or you can email me direct, mark.bosma@icloud.com. That is mark.bosma@icloud.com. Too much switch mode power supply hash on 80 metres? This might be the incentive to do something about it. With a cheap noise canceller costing less than $100, 80 metres could be easier than you think. So once again, Tuesdays from 0900 Zulu until late, between 3540 kHz and 3570 kHz. Cheers from Mark, VK2KI and VK6QI.
Hi, just a little note about VK6RRG and the WARG Technical and General Net. Having it run every Sunday morning on VK6RLM, that's 146.750 or channel 3 in the old money. And it starts at 10:30 a.m. this morning. Of course, if you're listening in the evening, it's next week.
So what's RASA, the Radio Amateur Society of Australia, been up to this week? Well, it's one of those quiet weeks after publishing QTC Lite. The rest of what we're up to is sort of behind the scenes stuff. So what does that mean? QTC magazine is published quarterly and the next issue will be published in September. so work is in progress now on research and preparation of articles and news. Do you have anything to contribute to QTC magazine? Send an email to info@vkradioamateurs.org. QTC Lite is a newsletter or bulletin that's published and distributed monthly. The most recent issue was July the 12th. Did you miss seeing QTC Lite? You can download it from the RASA website, vkradioamateurs.org. There are several issues that RASA is discussing with the regulator, the ACMA, and will publish outcomes as these come to hand. Downloads and views of the Foundation Level Study Guide are climbing steadily, with the number of downloads approaching 600. If you or someone you're aware of is considering sitting for a Foundation Level exam, this study guide contains everything they need to know. It's an electronic magazine, either in true on-screen magazine style, or if you prefer, a PDF download. The study guide, which is built on the ACMA's syllabus for Foundation Level, contains live links to useful information and instructional videos. The Foundation Level study guide is free to view, free to download and free to share, within the bounds of copyright of course. A companion publication to the study guide is the Welcome to Amateur Radio Guidebook, which contains a whole lot of information that newcomers, or maybe those returning to the hobby, need to know. It's available from the website again, and it's free, as with all of our online resources, so no membership is required and there's no charge. Free, gratis and for nothing. And the website again, VK Radio Amateurs, there's an S on the end of that, vkradioamateurs.org. And finally, thanks to those who, in response to QTC and QTC Lite, have joined RASA or made a donation. I'm Bob, VK6POP, and I'm the Vice President of RASA.
There's not too many weeks to go until the NCRG Hamfest is on again. That means it's time to stock up on tickets in the NCRG Hamfest raffle. This year, the raffle will have 4 prizes. A $2,000 voucher for Andrews Communications for you to buy whatever you want. A Yaesu FTM 300 50-watt mobile. A Yaesu FT70DR handheld. And if Yaesu isn't your brand, there's a $100 voucher from Horizon Antennas. Tickets are on sale now, ending at 12 noon on the 25th of August at the NCRG Hamfest. Tickets are $5 per entry and are available for sale across New South Wales, Queensland, South Australia, Tasmania, Victoria and of course Western Australia. Full raffle and prize details are available via the raffle link URL on the website at ncrg.org.au. Don't forget to come and join the club and our guest sellers on August 25th at the Cyril Jackson Rec Centre at the end of Fisher Street in Bassendean. A big shout out to the NCRG Hamfest committee who are working really hard to bring you a bumper event. I'm Glenn, Victor Kilo 6, Papa Alpha Whiskey for the Northern Corridor Radio Group, 7-3.
This is Newswest, your amateur radio news on VK6ARN, originating on the Newswest linked repeater network and HF relays.
Foundations of Amateur Radio. One of my recurring, you might call it regrets, but probably not quite that strong, is that I often find myself discovering that an amateur radio contest came and went. Or worse, I found out on the day, preferably at midnight UTC when many contests start, which happens to be 8 a.m. Saturday morning where I live, right when my weekly radio net for new and returning amateurs, F-Troop, begins. Often by that time I already have plans for the weekend, and now I know I'm missing out on some or other activity that might encourage me to go outside and get fresh air whilst playing radio. Don't get me wrong, it's my own responsibility to manage my time, but that doesn't explain what's going on. So I started exploring what might be causing this. I mean, it shouldn't be that hard. There's pretty much a contest on every weekend, so I could sort out my radio and get on air to make noise at any point of any day. That this doesn't happen can only partially be explained by the state of my shack, which I have yet to get working the way I want, but it doesn't explain everything. I'm subscribed to several contest calendars. The most prominent of these is one maintained by Bruce, Whiskey Alpha 7 Bravo November Mike. The contestcalendar.com website is a great place to start. Another is the personal site of prolific contester and contest manager Alan Victor Kilo 4 Sierra November. Both sites offer a calendar feed file that you can subscribe to. So, subscribe to the calendar. Job done, right? Unfortunately not. As it happens, for several years I have, in fact, subscribed to both those calendars. I even shared these with my partner, which results in a fun exchange at the breakfast table that goes something like this. Hey, do you need the car on Saturday? Why? Well, there's an amateur contest on. So my partner is often more aware of contests than I am, and supposedly I'm the amateur in this household. It occurs to me that I need an alert to point at an upcoming contest, preferably one that I can configure that's specific to me. I don't tend to look that far into the future. I have plenty of stuff that needs to happen today without worrying about next month. I started exploring what I might do about this. Be the change you want to see. So I contacted Bruce and asked what views he might hold on the addition of an alarm in the calendar file he publishes. I also asked if there was a way to configure what contests are visible in that file. Whilst hunting through his site, I discovered that there's plenty of Australian contests not on the site, so I created a list of contests I know about that I thought should be on the calendar. I might point out that Bruce's job isn't easy. Trying to get information out of contest managers can sometimes be like powering a spark gap transmitter using a push bike. Here's an example of one contest that has an algorithm to determine when the next contest is. I kid you not. There's a winter, spring and summer version of this contest. For winter, when the June solstice is on a weekday, Monday through Friday, the weekend following shall be the weekend of the event. If not, that weekend shall be the weekend of the event. The spring and summer versions are even more involved, counting forwards or backwards 4 weeks from the December solstice. It helpfully includes a link to the solstice dates for this century, because really, that's how the dates are determined. If I'm feeling particularly sparky, I might even make a calculator, since the contest manager for that contest hasn't announced the dates for the next contest. Though my previous experiences whilst attempting to calculate moon bounce windows using the Python AstroPy package was challenging. I did find PyFM, which has several solstice and equinox functions. So, now all I need to do is make my shack work as I want it, bolt a radio back in my car, win lotto and something else. I forget what. I'm Ono, Victor Kilo 6, Foxtrot Lima Alpha Bravo.
The Remembrance Day contest is on the weekend of the 17th and 18th of August. That's creeping up, isn't it? It's one of the most popular Australian contests, and anyone can join in. Although it's a 24-hour contest, you can operate for any amount of time and any number of times during the contest period, and just put it all in your log. The contest commences at 0300 UTC on Saturday and ends at 0300 Sunday. That's 11 a.m. in Western Standard Time, and it runs for 24 hours. Let's deal with some questions that are commonly asked about contests. First one, do I need a specially set up radio station to enter a contest? Well, the answer is no. You can make valid contacts on any band from 160 metres through to VHF, UHF and beyond, except for the WARC bands. In fact, a healthy part of Western Australia's score in these contests is often comprised of 2 metres and 70 centimetre contacts. Of course, if you have good antennas for HF, you'll do better, but hey, having a go is what it's all about. Another question, do I have to keep a log, and how do I do that? Well, yes, you have to keep a log, and there are some specially built software applications available for logging Aussie contests. The most popular of these is VK Contest Logger, or VKCL for short. It's got the rules built in and makes logging a breeze. VKCL can also be used on a network for multi-rig stations. Visit the VK Contest Club website to download VKCL. The site is vkcc.com. With these contests, everyone seems to have a go on Saturday afternoon and Saturday night, but on Sunday morning it goes quiet. So many people aren't there on Sunday morning. So something you can do to boost our score is to make sure you're on air on Sunday morning to keep local contacts running. It's a bit hard to find local stations on air, so here's a trick introduced several years ago in the form of a list of local coordinating frequencies. The idea is that every now and then we listen out or give a call on those frequencies to pick up locals. It's a great idea. However, do remember that it's not a list of calling frequencies. Go elsewhere to call General CQ Contest. This list can be downloaded from the VK6.net website. Finally, the RD contest, apart from all of us competing for our own score, also has state pitched against state. And the more logs we submit from WA, the better chance we have of accumulating a decent score for our state. It would pay you to have a read of the rules of the contest. It's not a big read. Go to the WIA website, wia.org.au. And let's get a few more people on air for the Remembrance Day contest in August.
Good morning, this is Roy VK6 X-Ray Victor with this week's helpline. Nothing much to report this week for the 21st of July 2024. No items this week, so I'd like to include your items for sale, disposal next week. Please contact me. It's VK6XRayVictor at bigpond.com. And until we meet again next week, hopefully I've got something for you. This is VK6XRayVictor, Roy 73.
Hi there, it's Clinton, VK6FCRC, back with you. And did you know that Newswest is now on YouTube? Type in youtube.com/@Newswest weekly podcast -Kilo Zulu 7 Yankee Charlie. Oh, and before I go, I'd like to thank those watching on YouTube or ATV, the readers, and you for listening. I'd also like to thank our team, the broadcasters, and those submitting content each week. Please stand by now for callbacks after the broadcast, or head over to the VK6.net website and fill out the forms so we know how many people are listening each week.